Hello and welcome to your in-depth weekly horoscope for week commencing the 24th of October for the Sun or the Ascendant. This is a crackerjack week. There's so much going on. I'm really excited to share it with you. What I'm going to do is give you the overall strands which influence us all collectively, but please stay with me. I will then dive deep to give you each of the 12 zodiac signs in much greater detail, from Aries through to Pisces. So as we start this week, Saturn has ended its retrograde, but it remains in a very attritional right angle with Uranus. So I need to explore that for each of the signs. We also have the Sun and Venus have moved together into the sign of Scorpio. Now, the Sun in Scorpio is very much about transformations. It's where we're most invested or devoted. But Venus technically is not at its best in the sign of Scorpio. But of course, it did have that magical connection with the Sun last Saturday, where they were exactly side by side. So the potential to continue a dialogue around a relationship matter is there, but I think what we get now is much more into the deeper analysis, the real politic of what some relationships are about, and perhaps the real politic about our longer term financial situation too. Now, of course, we have the partial solar eclipse on Tuesday, which on the face of it does give us some opportunities. But it works in tandem with the total lunar eclipse of the 8th of November, which is truly astonishingly tough. So I think we are about to see a massive reset globally. When it comes to energy consumption, the price of things, the cost of fuel and foodstuffs have all been going up, but I don't think we've seen the end of how this restructuring is going to play out. However, on Friday, Jupiter, the planet of growth, retreats in its retrograde back into one of the two signs that it governs, the sign of Pisces, where its rulership is a much more spiritual dimension. It's going to continue the retrograde until November the 23rd, but it will stay in Pisces through to the 20th of December and return to Aries. So there may be something of a deep and contemplative strand that we really need to consider quite carefully through this change. Now on Sunday, Mars slams on the brakes, goes into a retrograde through to the 12th of January. But it's going to stay in the sign of Gemini through to the 25th of March. But for the whole of October, the whole of November, it is within 3 degrees in a square with Neptune. And that's creating quite a lot of distortion. So that's something else I need to explore for each of the 12 signs for you. So please stay with me. You can see an enormous amount of celestial action. If you are new to my channel, I'd be honoured if you would subscribe. Please click or tap on the bell notification symbol. If you would like to understand what year 2023 will hold for you personally, if you give me 3 pieces of your birth data, of time, date and place, I can give you your forecast for next year, but if you order it in 22, you'll get the rest of this year 3. But in my special package, you can also get your life roadmap, your character analysis, which can help you to understand some of the repetitive patterns in your existence, but also how you can perhaps change some of the more challenging ones, but also work with the more encouraging energy in a much more productive way. And there's 30% off. Please see the link below. So Cancer, your week commencing the 24th of October forecast offers rich opportunities with the Sun's conjunction with Venus threaded through this week in your sister water sign of Scorpio, but particularly in relation to the partial solar eclipse of Tuesday. Think of the things that you'd really like to bring to your life, the magical things. If you can really visualize these and set your intentions, the next half year will give you opportunities. But there are other more immediate challenges this week. Mercury in your sector of home and emotion is clashing with Pluto. If there is a particularly sensitive subject that needs to be discussed, if you can be very mindful of the language and the approach that you use, it can help to mitigate some of the tension that that particular aspect can create. Of course, we do have Saturn having ended its retrograde, which is a relief, but that doesn't change the fact that Saturn is continuing in a square with Uranus. Uranus is in the part of your horoscope which is giving you a sense of excitement for the dynamism that your future can hold, but it has to work in a financial way, and that is tempered still through to the first week of December by that particular square. Now, there is Jupiter, of course, which is exalted in your sign, reversing back into your sector of travel and expansion and more spiritual dimensions. So if you have been rather frustrated about a lack of progress or a lack of speed around your more worldly hopes, I think Jupiter gives you an opportunity to just think things over, maybe do some more research, learn some more skills, and by the 20th of December you'll be primed, ready to go again with that big goal or ambition. But with Mars continuing in your 12th house and going into a retrograde at the end of this week, that potential to amplify some very sensitive emotional strands from the past in its square with Neptune, which goes on through to the end of November, that is ramped up later this week. So there are opportunities, definitely, with the Sun's alliance with Venus. Venus can be about presenting information in a skillful way for its rulership of Libra. Of course, it can be more earthy and sensual in its rulership of Taurus, which for you is very much about friendships. And I think some joys can come into your life over this next half year, but there are other more immediate, rather more political strands threaded through this week that you need to just pick your way through. But that doesn't mean to say that you can't continue to try to work up into action some hope to achieve greater awareness to your skills, your talents, your flair, or to bring a spark of romance and warmth and affection into some key relationships.